You weren't born weak, but life has a way of chiseling you down, not like a sculptor, but like a storm, breaking you piece by piece until you forget what strength felt like. You've felt it, haven't you? The overwhelm, the "I can't do this anymore." The voice in your head whispering that maybe it's better to stay small, stay safe, stay stuck. But listen, it's not that you're incapable. It's not that the mountain is too high. It's that your mindset has been borrowed from the world around you, from people who gave up before they ever tried. This video isn't about motivation. It's not about hyping you up with false promises and empty quotes. This is about reprogramming the way you meet life, with power, with poise, and with principles that have stood for over 2,000 years. Because you don't need more motivation. You need a mindset that makes you unbreakable. And no one understood that better than the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, men who didn't theorize strength, they lived it, in war, in exile, in grief, in power. Today, you're going to learn 10 Stoic mindsets that can help you conquer anything, not just survive hardship, but turn it into fuel. And by the end of this, you won't just think differently, you'll move differently. You'll feel a deeper silence inside you, a kind of inner gravity that pulls you out of chaos and into clarity. So take a breath, drop your shoulders, and listen carefully, because we're about to rewire your mind for war. Not the kind with swords, but the kind that happens every morning, when your weaker self begs you to shrink again, and the warrior inside you whispers, "Not today." Mindset 1. You are not your emotions. You wake up tired. Your heart feels heavy. You're anxious about things that haven't even happened yet. So you grab your phone, you scroll, you delay, and you call it rest. But deep down, you know it's avoidance. Why? Because your emotions are driving the car, and you've forgotten that you're the one who owns the keys. The Stoics believed something radical. You are not your emotions. You have emotions, yes, but they are just signals, not instructions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But let's be honest, most of us never realize it. We let a bad morning become a bad day, a passing frustration become an identity, an uncomfortable feeling become a reason to quit. That's how the cage builds itself, bar by bar, thought by thought, until your entire life becomes a reaction to how you feel in the moment. But here's the mindset shift. Don't resist your emotions. Observe them, label them, then choose your action from a deeper place. Your values, not your moods. You can feel doubt and still move forward. You can feel fear and still take the call. You can feel tired and still show up. Because your emotions don't define you. Your response does. And once you learn to pause, to witness the storm instead of being swallowed by it, you become dangerous in the best way. Unshakable, steady, and deeply free. So the next time a wave of anxiety or frustration hits you, don't drown, stand still, and remember, you are the sea, not the wave. Mindset 2. Entitlement is the enemy. You feel like you've done everything right. You've worked hard. You've stayed humble. You've tried to be good. So why isn't it working? Why are others ahead while you feel stuck? It's tempting to whisper to yourself, "This isn't fair. It should be easier by now. I deserve more than this." But here's the harsh truth the Stoics knew. Life doesn't owe you anything. Not success, not peace, not even tomorrow. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." Entitlement poisons effort. It makes you bitter instead of better. It trades growth for grievance. The Stoics believed we must earn everything. Not once, but every single day. With our thoughts, our actions, our discipline. Marcus Aurelius didn't sit on his throne and wait for the world to favor him. He woke up early, wrote his meditations in the cold, fought plagues, led wars, and still reminded himself, do not expect Plato's Republic. In other words, stop expecting the world to be ideal. Stop waiting for the path to clear. Walk anyway. When you drop entitlement, you gain power, because nothing is beneath you. No struggle is surprising, and every challenge becomes a training ground. You're not owed success. You must become the kind of person who can carry it, and that happens in the fire, not in the fantasy. So the next time you hear that voice, This should be easier. Answer back. Good. Let it be hard. Then go do it anyway, because strength doesn't come from what you're given. It comes from what you earn, and no one can take that from you. Mindset 3. Discipline over motivation. There's a fortress inside you, a stronghold untouched by chaos. A quiet place no pain, no insult, no failure can reach. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, and your job? To build it, brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day, not with motivation, because motivation is weak. It comes and goes. It flickers when the weather changes, when you're tired, distracted, heartbroken, bored. But discipline doesn't flinch. It doesn't care if you feel like it. It gets up anyway. It shows up regardless. It does the work while motivation makes excuses. Epictetus put it simply, no man is free who is not master of himself. Mastery isn't about domination. It's about control over your urges, your reactions, your habits, your time. When the alarm rings at 5 a.m., motivation says, sleep in. You deserve rest. Discipline says, get up. You've got work to do. When you're tempted by comfort, motivation says, take a break. Discipline whispers, build your empire. This is how Stoics became unshakable. They didn't wait to feel strong. They acted strong until strength became their nature, until the walls of their citadel could not be breached. And here's the beautiful thing. Each act of discipline adds a stone to your fortress. Every hard choice, every resisted impulse, every quiet grind, it all stacks into something permanent. So don't chase fleeting sparks. Become the fire. Burn steady. Burn silent. Burn through every excuse. Because in the end, it's not about hype. It's about habit. And habits are the armor of the disciplined. Mindset 4. Emotional mastery over reactivity. Here's something most people never learn. Feelings are real, but they're not always true. They scream in your mind. They burn in your chest, but they don't always tell the full story. And they definitely shouldn't be the ones steering your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let that sink in, because it means this. You are not your sadness. You are not your anger. You are not your anxiety. You are the observer of it all, the calm in the center of the storm. But most people, they react, they lash out, shut down, spiral, retreat. They let emotions dictate their words, decisions, identity, as if a passing feeling is their final truth. Not you. Not anymore. The Stoic mindset is this. Pause. Question. Respond. Don't react. You feel envy? Don't become it. Trace it. Where is it coming from? Is it insecurity? Ego? Scarcity? You feel anger? Don't explode. Channel it. Is it a boundary being crossed? Is it a lesson on what you value? Because once you step back, you realize feelings are messengers, not masters, and you choose the meaning you assign to them. This doesn't mean suppression. Stoics weren't emotionless. They felt everything, fully, deeply, but they never let emotions rule the show. They trained themselves to respond with reason, to let the higher mind take the wheel, to feel fear, and act anyway, to feel pain, and keep moving. That's what makes a person powerful, not the absence of emotion, but the ability to command it. So next time a wave rises inside you, don't drown in it. Surf it, observe it, decide who you want to be, and act from there. Because emotional mastery is not about denial, it's about direction. And once you master that, there is no situation that can control you, because you've mastered the only thing that truly matters, yourself. Mindset 5. Lean into discomfort. Let's tell the truth. Most people run from pain. They dodge the hard things, the awkward conversations, the cold mornings. They search for shortcuts, hacks, soft landings, and they wonder why life still feels hard. But Stoics? They didn't run from pain. They walked straight into it. Marcus Aurelius didn't pray for ease. He trained for strength. He wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Let that tattoo itself on your soul, because it flips your whole mindset. Obstacles are not interruptions. They are invitations. Discomfort is not a punishment. It's preparation. Struggle is not a sign you're failing. It's the forge that's shaping you. Every time you choose the hard thing, you're building inner armor. Every time you embrace the suck, you're leveling up where others tap out. It could be a tough workout, an honest self-reflection, a decision to finally say no to something that's draining you. That pain you feel, that's the price of becoming powerful. And here's the shift. It's not about masochism, it's about meaning. Choosing pain on purpose because you know it's aligned with who you want to become. You don't have to love it, but you do have to respect it, because growth never lives in comfort. Comfort is where dreams die quietly, but pain? Pain wakes you up. Pain reveals what you're made of. Pain sharpens your will and teaches you what matters. So next time you feel resistance, don't pull away. Lean in, smile at the challenge, welcome the discomfort, say, there you are. Let's dance. That's the Stoic way, not chasing ease, but chasing excellence, even if it hurts, especially when it hurts, because every rep in the gym, every hard conversation, every failure, it's all building something indestructible inside you. If this is hitting something real for you, you might want to subscribe. This channel's not for people looking for soft advice. It's for those ready to transform, with fire, with clarity, with Stoic discipline. So if that's you, hit that button and stay on the path with us. Let's keep sharpening the mind together. Mindset 6. Radical responsibility control. It's the illusion we cling to when life feels chaotic. We try to manage people, predict outcomes, manipulate timing, and we burn ourselves out trying to command the wind. But the Stoics? They didn't waste a second trying to rule the world. They ruled themselves. Epictetus said it best. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. That's the split. There are things you control and things you don't. And if you spend your life on the second list, you'll stay stuck in frustration, blame, and helplessness. But if you lock in on the first list, your choices, your mindset, your effort, your response, that's where your real power lives. That's where freedom begins. Someone insults you? You can't control their mouth, but you can control your reaction. Plans fall apart? You can't stop the chaos, but you can control how you show up inside it. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what can I do with this? This is what Marcus Aurelius practiced, ruling an empire during plagues, wars, betrayals. But never once did he beg for the world to be different. He worked on himself. He turned inward. He took radical responsibility. Because when you focus on what's within your control, you become unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger, rooted, present, mentally clean. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most people stay stuck not because life is unfair, but because they refuse to own their role in their suffering. They blame the algorithm, the economy, their boss, their parents, but never pause to ask, what am I choosing that's keeping me here? Take that question seriously. It'll crack something open in you. And once it does, you'll never see the world the same again. You'll stop trying to control everything and start controlling the only thing that ever mattered. Mindset 7. Think with precision. You can't hit a target you can't see. And yet, most people wander through life blindfolded. Vague desires, cloudy goals, murky standards, then wonder why they feel lost. The Stoics knew better. They treated clarity like a weapon, sharpened daily, used wisely, and pointed only at what truly matters. Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Think about that. If you don't know what you want, no amount of motivation can help you. No book, no mentor, no morning routine, because you're moving, sure, but you're drifting, not driving. To conquer challenges, you need more than grit. You need precision. What problem are you solving? What outcome are you aiming for? What trade-offs are you willing to make? And what lines will you never cross? Without clarity, you'll chase everything and catch nothing. You'll confuse activity for progress, busyness for direction, and exhaustion for meaning. But when your mind is clear, laser sharp, you don't just move fast, you move right. You filter noise, cut distractions, and act deliberately. That's why journaling mattered to Marcus Aurelius. It wasn't just self-reflection, it was self-correction. Each page was a scalpel, trimming away illusion, until only the truth remained. Want to be unstoppable? Get clear. on your values, your mission, your next step. Write it down. Say it out loud. Slice it until it's simple, because vague minds produce vague lives. But sharp minds? They carve out kingdoms, even in chaos, especially in chaos. So next time you feel stuck or overwhelmed, don't speed up, get still, and ask, what exactly is the problem? What exactly do I want? What exactly am I avoiding? Precision is power, and clarity, that's how you aim it. Mindset 8. Embrace voluntary discomfort. We say we want growth, but live like we're allergic to discomfort. We build lives padded with ease and wonder why our minds grow soft, our wills grow weak. But the Stoics knew something modern minds forget. Comfort is a slow poison. It sedates, then suffocates. It makes cowards of kings and drifters of men who once had fire in their bones. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less. Or do what's essential. Do it well. Then stop. Not avoid pain, not hide from hardship, but strip away the unnecessary, so you can sharpen yourself on what remains. The real war? It's not out there. It's in the part of you that clings to comfort. The warm bed, the easy distraction, the second excuse. That's the version of you that must die, because discomfort is not the enemy. It's the gym for your soul. The cold shower, the early morning, the hard conversation, they aren't punishments. They're training grounds. Every time you lean into discomfort, you send a signal to your mind. I can handle more. I can be more. I don't need ease to thrive. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, wearing rough clothes, sleeping on the floor, walking barefoot, not because they were masochists, but because they refused to be ruled by softness. They understood, if you only do what's comfortable, you'll never know your power. You want to conquer anything? You want to be unstoppable? Then stop negotiating with your weaknesses, stop pampering the parts of you that crave comfort more than victory, and start doing the hard things before life forces them on you. Because if you sweat in peace, you bleed less in war. And if you embrace discomfort now, you won't panic when the real storm comes. You'll stand taller, move clearer, act braver. Why? Because the man who chooses discomfort controls his fate, but the man who avoids it is a slave to fear, to ease, to whatever comes next. So if it scares you, stretch into it. If it's hard, walk straight toward it. If it burns, good. That's your soul waking up. Mindset 9. Respond. Don't react. You were never meant to be ruled by your emotions, only informed by them. But most people, they explode when anger visits. They crumble when sadness knocks. They retreat at the first sign of fear. The Stoics saw emotion not as evil, but as a test, a flare, a message, not a master, not a command. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." Which means you can't always control the waves, but you can learn to surf. You can train your mind to pause, to interpret, to choose your response. When someone insults you, do you bite back, or do you smile like a man who knows who he is? When life throws loss at you, do you collapse, or do you carry it like a weight you were born to bear? Reacting is animal instinct. Responding is divine control. The Stoic warrior sees emotion rise and does not flinch. He doesn't numb it. He names it. He watches it like a storm from the mountain peak. He says, "Yes, I feel it, but I am not it." Because once you stop over-identifying with emotion, you stop being dragged by it. Anger becomes fuel. Sadness becomes depth. Fear becomes a compass pointing you toward growth. And that's when you become dangerous, not cold, but composed, not detached, but deliberate. A man who still feels, but isn't led by the feeling. That's rare. That's strength. That's Stoic. And if you've made it this far, you're not just watching passively. You're training your mind, forging it, day by day, word by word. So if this journey is speaking to your soul, and you haven't yet subscribed, now is the perfect moment, because these scripts are built to make you impenetrable, one mindset at a time. Now, let's finish strong. Mindset 10. Turn pain into power. Marcus Aurelius didn't just endure adversity. He used it. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Read that again, because hidden inside is a key that will unlock every locked door in your life. What blocks you, builds you. What hurts you, humbles you, what delays you, develops you. Pain isn't the enemy. Avoidance is, because every challenge comes with two gifts: a mirror, to see who you are, and a chisel, to carve who you must become. When your plans fall apart, that's not life going wrong. That's life redirecting you. When you're betrayed, that's not the end of trust. It's the start of discernment. When the business fails, the door closes, the dream shatters. That's the beginning of you being reshaped into something unshakable, unstoppable, but only if you lean in, only if you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now? What strength is this building? What lesson is hiding here? What future me is this pain trying to introduce me to?" Every great man has walked through hell. The difference is, he didn't pitch a tent there. He walked through it. He burned, and he became fire. That's what Stoicism invites you into. Not a life without difficulty, but a mind that transforms difficulty into destiny. So the next time life punches you in the face, smile. Bleed if you must, but smile, because that's life sculpting you into someone worthy of the path you say you want. The obstacle isn't the end, it's the beginning. The path isn't over. You've just arrived at the part that matters most. Now, it's time to bring everything full circle. Let's echo back through the path we've just walked. Let's sharpen the blade you now hold. Let's reinforce the discipline you've begun forging. You've come far, not just in this video, but in the way you're starting to think. 10 mindsets, each one a weapon, each one a seed, and together, they're the architecture of an unshakable mind. A stoic warrior not ruled by fear or impulse or chaos. Let's echo them back. You now know the strength of choosing response over reaction, of loving fate instead of fearing it, of staying calm when the world goes mad, of owning your time, of doing the hard thing, of separating facts from feelings, of choosing clarity over control, of seeking progress, not perfection, of staying anchored in what's up to you, and of turning every obstacle into opportunity. That's not just motivation, that's mental muscle, that's inner power. And if just one of those mindsets lit something in you, imagine what will happen if you live them, if you return to them, if you build your days around them. And listen, if this spoke to you, if you felt something shift, if you want to keep sharpening this edge, then consider subscribing, because this channel is where we train, not to impress the world, but to master ourselves. So subscribe now and walk this path with others like you. Focused, hungry, unstoppable. Let's lock in and finish strong. The world tells you to chase more, louder, faster, bigger, but the Stoic doesn't chase. He stands, rooted, while others are tossed like leaves in the wind of their emotions. You become the tree, still, grounded, resilient, because the truth is, most people live reactively. They get up and go wherever life kicks them. Their thoughts are hijacked by noise, their choices dictated by fear, their identity shaped by circumstance. But you've seen something deeper now. You've seen that the real battlefield isn't out there, it's in here. And the man who wins that battle, he becomes unstoppable, not because he's invincible, but because he's unchangeable. You can strip him of comfort, he stays composed. You can delay his rewards, he remains patient. You can throw storms at him, he walks through rain like it's sunlight. Because the Stoic doesn't ask for an easy life, he asks for the strength to endure a difficult one. And that's what makes him powerful. That's what makes him dangerous in the best way. So destroy the weak version of you. Let him go. He had his time, but now it's yours. Forge the new self in fire. Shape it with stillness, discipline, and purpose. Because when you carry these mindsets, you no longer walk into the world hoping it will go easy on you. You walk in knowing you're built to conquer it, quietly, steadily, completely.